this very interesting conversation. On the occasion of International Women's Day, we're very fortunate to have joined with us the First Lady of Maharashtra, Amruta Fadnavis. Amruta, thank you so much for spending time with us.
Thanks for having me, Faye.
We're a channel, I'm going to start straight off by saying, we're a channel that believes very strongly in equal rights for women, whether that's women in our urban centers of Mumbai or Pune or Nasik or Nagpur, or the women of our villages. And I believe that this is something that you feel very strongly as well. So I'm extremely thrilled to have you also, put your support behind the women of Maharashtra. But I want to understand from you, of all of the things that you're working with, and you do so much work, where do you believe that the focus should be for women's rights right now within Maharashtra?
I believe that every woman, each woman has a unique quality in herself, talent in herself, but somewhere she doesn't have that go-get it attitude, and she doesn't have that fire in the belly or the confidence. So I think each woman herself should be focused into something that I want to achieve this particular thing and work towards it meticulously. Somewhere in her life, when she's married or when she has a kid, she loses her focus. She might be a great talented person or a great intellectual, but somewhere in the family flow, she leaves it, she gives it all. So I think the state, the country needs her inputs, needs her work into the developmental flow of the country.
I know that you've spent some time lately working with, with the Women's Commission of Maharashtra, with acid attack victims, and the Honorable Chief Minister also increased the compensation to these victims, which we're all very grateful for. Tell us how you arrived at that cause and why that cause means so much for you.
As of now in Maharashtra, we have 30 plus acid attack victims, and we could meet 16 of them, and 15 of them were in a condition that they could walk. But when I met them through the head of Maharashtra State Women's Council. We were discussing on certain issues, and she said this is a grave issue regarding acid attack victims. They are punished for having done nothing. They are punished for life. And when I met some of these girls, some of these victims, what I found was they had this desire to struggle and again go into a normal lifestyle which they had earlier, but they had lost their confidence altogether. Completely. Because as they struggled, they always faced rejection, dejection, and kind of mercy from people. So that made them very weak at heart, that now there's nothing left, we have to just live, that is it, try to survive. Literally they were surviving. So that is what hit me. I thought that maybe something like this, having a program, having people join together to help them out, not exactly help them, just facilitate them, that would really make a difference.
Bring them back into society and give them as normal lives as possible.
Yes. In fact, with this program which we planned, and it happened on the 5th, and that time we got a lot of contribution and support from corporates. They have got offer letters from corporates to join them with their terms and conditions, because of this attack. They have had multiple operations, so they cannot work like you
full
and I.
hours.
So they have certain restrictions to start with. They would have it for few years, and considering all that, they have given offer letters, including the police fraternity, to the different corporates. They have received offer letters, and the employable ones who can work even for 4 to 5 hours have been employed, and now they would start work from this month or next month. That is one point. Then secondly, doctors have joined hand. We have these government doctors who will do it free any which ways, but we have some private good plastic surgeons, practitioners. They have agreed to do it for literally no cost or free. So that is a very good thing which has happened because of this. And thirdly, when people who are known, dignitaries and celebrities, they
come in support,
held their hands and walked with them. That made a great difference, because they felt confident that we have people supporting us, known people, influential people. And secondly, other people, the audience and other people who see this, who read about this, they also get inspired. And I've got so many calls that I want to help for this cause. I want to help.
Actually,
for
that was going to be my next question, because I'm sure there are a lot of people watching this interview right now who might be thinking, that's a great cause. How can I help? So it's just someone at home who might want to lend a hand or help in some way. How can they join with the cause? How can they get in touch? How can they help with this particular case?
For this cause, MSA Maharashtra Women's Council and we both are, that is, I am working with them, and a foundation which is called the VH Foundation. We are working together for this cause, and you can always contact any of us, and we will let you know what exactly is required to be done for them. There are so many things, from education to counseling to financially helping to being with them at different points of life. There are so many things which need to be done.
So it's not just help in terms of money, but people can give time,
yes,
which can be very useful as well.
Time is very useful, and that matters more to them, because motivation is an important factor which will keep them going.
So one of the things, obviously, it is the beautiful campaign that you are running right now, is to rehabilitate the people who are victims or survivors of these attacks. The other thing is to try and prevent. And acid, from what we understand, is still widely available in most markets as a cleaning agent, which it needn't have to be. And one of the demands that most women rights groups have had is to just take it off the shelf. It should not be available. Nobody, because it's being used with vendetta, it's being used to hurt women. It should just not be available on the shelf. Is that, is that a conversation you think we can push forward?
In fact, it has been pushed forward, as you said, by many groups, and even by us. During the program and after the program, we are making a presentation of what additionally we require, the help we require from the government. So they would definitely look into it, because it is like they get acid from a shop for peanuts and one life is destroyed.
Completely, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So that shouldn't happen. There should be certain measures which should be taken if it is available also. So that we have given some options which we felt were better. So I think so they would look into it this time.
But the other big challenge that we're facing in Maharashtra is with schooling, and the fact that young girls, first of all, there aren't as many of them enrolling in schools, especially in rural Maharashtra, and even in urban Maharashtra and cities like Mumbai, they're dropping out after the 7th standard. And this then, comes into the question of, do they have toilets available in the schools? Is there enough cleanliness? Is there enough information? And the reason why I'm bringing this up is, if we want every girl, like you started off saying, to feel confident, to feel like she can, contribute to society, then an education or a complete education is really important. So in that sense, is there something that we can do to push through the idea of making all of these schools and making all of these public spaces more welcoming and comfortable for young women and for young girls?
This is a very, very valid point, and we have been working on this. There are certain NGOs who have joined us for this. As you said, in schools, even within the limits of Mumbai, there have been schools where they did not have toilets. So we have been working to construct toilets in these schools. We have been working into bringing in digitalization in these schools. We have been working for villages. We have been working into Anganwadis and getting computers and libraries into these schools. So we do look at schools wherever the infrastructure is very bad. Girls or boys also, they would not like to go to such schools. The school should be vibrant. They should be clean and should offer these facilities, these daily needs of yours. So that is very important. Even BMC is looking into it. They are putting their own inputs into it, and privately we are trying to do it from our side also. And there are so many of us.
We've discovered in our investigations, we took our cameras into the BMC schools in Mumbai, in Worli, in Santa Cruz. We found that in a lot of the schools, the girls' toilets are completely inadequate. They were toilets that had windows but didn't have glass on those windows, so people could see into those toilets.
Right.
So I can imagine how a young girl of 12, 13, 14 would be uncomfortable in that school.
Right.
Is this information and evidence something that we can pass on to you that you can use then to be able to target the, you know, the process of fixing, so that you know where the problems are?
Yes, definitely. If the authority, and even if you let me know, I'll give you my contact numbers, where if it is informed, it can come to me. So I will look into it, that those things, those basic infrastructural or basic living requirements are taken care of.
Well, since we are on the topic, there is another issue that we have come across in our coverage, and that is of female constables in Mumbai more than anywhere else. And I'm sure that the problem is acute in the rest of the states, but in Mumbai as well. We found that while they work alongside their male counterparts, a lot of the police stations don't have restrooms for the female constables. They don't have places for them to change in and out of their uniforms. So they find the job very uncomfortable, because they have to change before they go home, they have to change again, they need clean toilets. Again, this is something that we would like to personally take up as a channel. We would appreciate any support that we could get from your end, and any of the NGOs or the government agencies that would like to work with us to be able to make female constables more comfortable.
Yes, definitely, they have to be comfortable, and so many female constables are there now. Otherwise, earlier the number was very small, and adequate requirements which they were not foreseen.
Yes.
So now, with women joining the workforce equally, if not equally, quite more than what it was before, it has to be made available now. I agree with that, and we should look into it together.
You know, Amruta, I want to talk to you about you. I think that for the state of Maharashtra, at least, you're the first, chief minister's wives who've been so active. And what I really appreciate is the fact that you've kept your job and you've kept your identity. So while you are fulfilling the role of being the First Lady of Maharashtra, you haven't let go of your own identity. You continue to pursue whatever you want to pursue. You continue to hold your job at Axis Bank. Was it difficult for you to say, you know what, I want to keep who Amruta is, and then, I'll do the other jobs as well?
For me, it was not difficult, but people did advise me that please, now you leave the job, you sit at home, you enjoy your husband's glory. All these things always used to come since I got married, because before marriage also I used to work, and that was the culture of my house, my mother's place, in which both equally worked, both equally took decisions at home front and outside also. So I always saw that, and that was like, I was always taken aback when so many people used to tell me, just leave your job, because it is about your journey, your identity. If your husband is successful in life, that doesn't mean you just bask in the glory of that success. So I don't believe in that. I have a separate journey. I have different struggles which I want to traverse myself.
And the other question, and I must bring this up, is the fact that you have, and you've spoken about this in the past as well, you've had a lot of what you call advisors who've told you not to wear this, don't sing that, don't go here, don't go there. So in the last now nearly 2.5, 3 years, you've battled a lot of this advice and kept your kept your eye on what you want to do. Tell us, some of the advice that you've received, and how you managed to keep to sort of blinker it away from what you want to do.
Regarding advice, it's always free and it comes from everywhere. So I've got advice on literally everything. So it is from how to walk to what to wear to where to go. But generally I have taken a path in which whatever I feel, I go ahead and do. Plus, if it is not against any kind of our culture, or if it is not against or going against the position in which Devendra ji is as of now, so I don't think much about it, that I have to really alter my living or lifestyle. So because also I feel I am answerable, or ladies look up to me.
Yes.
So I don't want them to have the picture that now I am following my husband and living my life because of him the way I am living it. I want ladies also to feel that they also have to get up. I am also doing that. I want them to be inspired by me. So I want to do whatever I feel like doing, and especially do a lot of good to the society.
I'm sure that women are inspired by you because of what you believe in and what you do. The other interesting thing is, of course, you moved cities. I'm sure a lot of your friends are still in Nagpur, a lot of your life is still in Nagpur. And you moved your 6-year-old daughter as well. Has it been difficult to sort of shield her from the limelight and, as the Chief Minister's daughter, to make sure that she continues to have a normal life, to teach her all of the things that, you want to teach the women of Maharashtra?
I want her to grow up into a confident lady, and yes, she gets exposed to various kind of people and situations, and only thing which I see is she learns to differentiate between what is right, what is wrong. There's everyone has his or her own mind, but she should know what is right and wrong for her. So that's what I try to look into. She's getting exposed to a lot of different things in Mumbai, but what she also knows is her personal development at this point of time is more important. So she's quite focused into studies, into her games, into her honing her talent, and she's not carried away. She's grounded. That's what I have to see, and I look into that.
Is it lonely out here at Varsha by yourself?
No, I made a lot of friends, so it's not lonely, and I feel that I am the same as I was in Nagpur. I like to be with people, I like to be with like-minded people, and I don't think twice for that they've being in this position. So I've made a lot of friends, and I'm happy to share my thoughts and be with them whenever I feel like.
There's a village at the outskirts of Nagpur that Mr. Fadnavis has adopted, and I understand that you work with them as well. And that's a very different life, the women of that village, and I understand you've done a lot for healthcare in that space. Tell us what you believe is the biggest change that healthcare has managed to bring in for these women and the lives that they lead, and how you personally, how that sort of change influenced you personally.
In the villages, again, women, they work very hard. Most of them are working, but they are again dependent on their husbands. Even their salaries, they go to the husbands, and they are financially independent but dependent other ways.
Yes.
So giving them a confidence that they have to be on their own, not be pressurized by a drunkard husband. All these things are huge issues in villages. And secondly, health care wise, like I have been taking care of this village factory. So we've put a lot of, to start with, we've put a lot of sanitary pad machines there in the village at least cost. Then we have made the village open defecation free. So that was a concern, and now houses have their own toilets. Secondly, they have self-help groups, a lot of them. In fact, since last 2 years, it has become 1.5 lakh self-help groups in Maharashtra. So anyone, any lady who wants to help out, she can volunteer. These self-help groups make great items, like Gadchiroli makes great bamboo items. Right. So if we give them an exposure, a platform in cities or wherever we have our sources.
So if there's someone right now who has a store and they could maybe stock some of these products and actually send
that helps them a lot, because really talent is there, but only thing is they don't have a vent that we can provide them.
You touched upon a very beautiful idea, which is basically, and this is not limited to the villages, that even women in the cities hand over their financial independence to their husbands in those households. And even women who are working today in urban India a lot of times hand over the reins of the money to their husbands, women from business families perhaps, and that leaves them then in a lack of control over their own lives, or leaves them vulnerable then perhaps to be left high and dry in case something goes wrong. What is your message to other working women like yourself, or other women who are perhaps homemakers or stay-home mothers, and how they should look after themselves also financially? It's not just a question of making sure your house is fine, but looking after yourself financially and making sure you don't completely hand it over to your husband.
So I feel that every woman should be financially independent and should take her own financial decisions also. In this regard, in these villages also, we are having financial inclusion sessions. We are doing this with BMC women also now. 1,000 BMC sweepers of the labor category. We are going to have a big campaign for them for financial inclusion and improvement of their health, which we did for BMC people in general. Now we are having a separate session for BMC women also. So we need to cover as many as women possible, so that they can at least have an awareness that yes, this is important. Otherwise women don't even think that it is important.
Well, the other quick question I wanted to ask you is about women's safety in general. While it continues to remain a massive problem in all of our cities, there's a need also to sensitize the police force, sensitize the doctors of government hospitals who treat victims of crime against women, whether they are children who have faced problems, whether they are women who have faced problems, who go into these crisis centers to write reports or to get tested. There is a need for sensitization that we know right now on the ground does not exist. Is that something that you believe that the state government can push from inside, or that we can somehow influence in order to get it done as quickly as possible?
What my take on this is that the state government is pushing this prompt action against the culprit and taking care of the victim. So this is what it is pushing, and at some places it was not existing, things are being taken care of. I feel that punishments, laws also should be even more stringent wherein harassment of women is concerned, and this will go a long way as a deterrent. Other than that, I feel that prompt action, legalities. Third thing is societal support. Like you did, Magicbricks, what you did was good. When there was a obnoxious talk about a woman, maybe it was about me also once, you just kick that person off, and that is what every woman should do, stand for each other.
And while we stand for each other, and I'm going to ask you this question, which is that in the last couple of weeks, there has been a lot of talk about this one young lady, Gurmeher Kaur, who put up something on Twitter or on Facebook, whatever her opinion was. The kind of responses she received on the internet was shocking and appalling. Some of the things were graphic and should not be repeated anywhere. But we've noticed that the Delhi police has not arrested anybody in what is obviously a crime. On one hand, shouldn't more women stand with this young lady of 20 years? And on the other hand, shouldn't the Delhi police or the governments in charge of the day put more pressure to make sure that when someone bullies somebody in this manner, when someone threatens someone with rape and with murder, that is a crime, and that person is in fact picked up and arrested as quickly as possible?
So as far as I know about this issue is, there was a lot of investigation about it, and regarding these Twitter accounts, it was found that they were fake. So still it is going on regarding this particular thing. But yes, on the Twitterati, the way she was treated was extremely wrong, and most of the accounts, but these accounts which were there, which treated her that way, were fake, as you know.
But you do believe that as a community, at least, we need to take a stronger stand against people who threaten whoever they may be. There is no, there's no way of telling whether they were of one group or the other group. But just this sort of bullying and this sort of threatening should not be allowed and should not be tolerated in our society at all.
Definitely, I agree to that.
I also want to ask you about, the fact that you worked with health such a lot and fitness, and you were talking about the conversations you have with the women in Fatri. What is your message again to all of the young girls who are possibly looking up to you at this point? How to look after themselves? There's there's on one hand there's the fear of body shaming, there's the fear of trolling on the internet and social networking and all of these new things that are happening in our world, and women who need to or feel the pressure to look a certain way. What is your message to the urban Indian woman on how they should look after themselves?
Somewhere I feel that every woman should be healthy in mind, healthy in body, and that doesn't say that you have to be this height, this weight. This means you don't need to be really thin for that. You just need to feel healthy, and when you look healthy, that is when you are active in your lifestyle, when you are regularly doing some exercise daily, when you are eating good food, you are healthy, and that is it. You don't need to get into that hourglass figure or something just to please someone. It is about yourself again, not others. And I think so you'll be happy if you're healthy physically, mentally. So I feel ki don't go into these traps of body shaming or into these traps of getting an approval from the other person, and for that trying to get that kind of a look. Just be yourself, whatever you are comfortable in. As a person you should be accepted, that is more important. As an individual you should be respected for what you are from the inside, that is more important.
Well, my last question to you, of course, as a combination of a banker and a politician's wife, which gives you a certain amount of power, and of course as a singer, I want you to give a message right now to the women of Maharashtra, at least, on if there's one thing that you would like them to take away from this conversation, something to remember, something that you would like to stand for, what would that be?
I believe that no woman is ordinary, but a woman should lead her life in such a way that the world should say that she, although ordinary, stands out and has a beautiful story to say. And for that, she really has to be herself and give her best.
All right, Amruta, I wish you very, very good luck with all of the things that you're doing, and you have our complete support on all of the causes that you're working with as well. And I hope to see your story shine and rise.
Thank you, and I'm also always there for you whenever you need me.
Thank you.
You can watch live TV on our website mpnow.in. Find us on Facebook at facebook.com/Magicbricks Now. And don't forget to click the like button. You can also follow us on Twitter at Magicbricks Now. To stay updated with all our programming, hit the subscribe button on our YouTube channel by logging on to youtube.com/Magicbricks Now.